guys, thank you very much for coming along. This is, I think, episode 4 of the FM Creator News. I am the Custard Prophet. So for those of you who are new to this, this is a place where I talk about things FM, trying to highlight some of the things going on in the FM community from across the different ways in which FM is communicated to all of us viewers. So be that YouTube, Twitch, blogs, etc. We've done a lot of focusing on blogs in the last couple of episodes, but I've also asked you guys to tell me things that you would want me to talk about, and one of the things that has been said in the comments is to talk a little bit about some of the things that I'm watching, because obviously for those who don't know, I also have the FM Creator Showcase where I showcase the FM creators who are doing stuff on YouTube. So we have 2 of those per episode, and I'm on about episode 10 or 11 now. So we've gone through quite a few creators that I've seen. So I'm going to tell you who I'm watching. I don't anticipate this video is going to take a huge amount of time, so bear with me. There's some really cracking creators. Some of them you will have heard of, some of them you might not have heard of, and I'd really appreciate if you pop over and give these guys an opportunity if they sound good to you. So apologies, it will just literally be me rambling on at you for the next however long. If that sounds like fun, if that sounds like your cup of tea, you stick around, my friends. Right then, I have, so I don't have to look at my face, I have a list, and hopefully I won't go out of focus for you, of these are creators that I have been watching, not just 1 or 2 episodes of, but these are creators I either intend to watch when the series that I'm interested in comes out, or ones that I've been sort of catching pretty much every episode of, or I'm in the process of doing that. And I want to tell you who they are and why. Some of them you'll be aware of, some of them, as I say, you might not be. So in no particular order, well, although I think the biggest creator is sitting proudly at the top, and that's Loki Doki. Of course, as I've mentioned previously, Loki Doki is someone I have watched from, I think, FM 17, perhaps, his Journeyman, which I think was FM 17, all the way up to now. And apart from his beta saves for this FM, I have watched every single thing that man has created on YouTube, and mainly because he just makes it look so easy. He's got a really nice, easy style. Every episode is fun. He uses green screens to enhance what goes on, and as he said on the showcase, he sort of wants a Journeyman is not, the Journeyman saves that he does are not just about him playing the game. There's a whole storyline that goes on around that as well, and it is so much fun to get involved within that story. He's got a lot of people who watch his episodes, and yeah, it's always a lot of fun reading through the comments as well. So Loki Doki, he is always one of my go-to guys for fun, for good content, and occasional tactical brilliance. I think he will accept that. So I should say Loki Doki at the moment is doing a Journeyman, which he's calling, I think it's more like the Rest of the World Journeyman, where he's basically visiting all the countries he hasn't visited in previous Journeymans, or has uploaded all the leagues from those countries, and is basically doing a Journeyman across those. So he started out in Finland. He's currently in Russia, spending time in a rowing boat.
Hello, my name's Duncan.
Yeah, so next on my list is Bobby G Gaming.
Hey guys, welcome back to Bobby G Gaming. Oh, it's the Custard Prophet.
So he was someone that in the last FM I watched on and off. I was watching his Snooker 19 series quite religiously, but in this FM I've really sort of been watching absolutely everything he's done. He's an absolutely top guy, hugely funny, I mean, if you're easily offended, he's probably not the guy for you, but he is just a lovely bloke who is just having a laugh with just, you know, the energy of a 5-year-old. He's just you imagine him in real life, he'll be just bouncing off the walls. So yeah, used to be a professional wrestler. So yeah, he was using that energy for good. But he actually he always seems to do particularly well. So I think tactically he's very good, although he always comes across that he claims he doesn't know what he's doing. And I think he's very, very astute tactically. And he's got some fantastic saves going on. He started out with a beta save with Southampton, which was very enjoyable. I think that's finished. It never really finished, but I think it has. But then he's got the Pentagon Challenge, where he's going across or trying to win the 5 European, or sort of the equivalent continental championships, I guess they would be called, across the 5 different continents where these exist. Currently in Asia, and he's in managing in the Hong Kong League, the Hong Kong Top League now, and yeah, doing really, really well. So I think he's still got to maybe jump to a better quality league to get his first notch on the bedpost, as it were, but he's looking like he may well be able to, and that's probably one of the hardest places to start. He is also doing, and this I think is the save of FM20 across all creators, the Twat FC save. So Twat is placed in the Orkneys. It's where people get their photos next to the sign, with pointing to twat, yeah. But he has done a create a club save where he's created Twat FC, and he's basically put all his channel members as players. So each episode is a bunch of the channel members play. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So he gets a lot of people involved in that, and if you're interested in getting involved, you can be part of sort of future youth intakes. You just need to sign up to his channel. So he is absolutely superb. I think he's got additional fun things on the way later on in the year. So go and check out Bobby G if you haven't done so already. Right, so we're moving into the realms of people you might not have heard of. And next up is that Trucking Football Manager. So he's someone I've followed for probably about 9 months, I think, maybe a bit more than that. He's an Argyle fan. Yeah, I know. And he did some really, really fun stuff in FM19, a journeyman, amongst other things. And in FM20, he did an Argyle save for his beta save. Then he did a season or 2 in the MLS to try and figure out how the MLS works, understanding the draft system and everything else. Well worth a watch. He has one video which I think lasts for well over an hour, where he's sort of going through the draft and everything else like that. I came out none the wise, but it was very entertaining anyway. And yeah, currently he is doing a journeyman save in the Americas, so across the Americas, which it's a challenge, shall we say, a big old challenge for him at the very start of it. I think it'll get a lot easier as his reputation rises, but he's finding it very hard at the minute. But he's someone I really enjoy. I think he's a really nice, sort of genuine bloke. He's got a very similar sense of humour to me, so I enjoy that. He gets involved with the in the comments, makes sure that he replies to you, and you get regular uploads without being overly regular on these series. So if you only want to follow one of them, you're only sort of thinking about sort of 2 or 3 episodes a week, if depending on which save you're following. So I think that's always good, and that's sort of the way that I'm trying to run my channel as well, because I think there is so much content out there. It's really hard to watch everything you want to. So if you're someone who creates maybe 1 or 2 or 3 episodes a week, it's more possible to fit that into a viewer's schedule. So make sure you go over and check him out. He is one of my favourite creators on YouTube, and he's probably one that a lot of you guys haven't heard of. So yeah, make sure you go and check him out. I'm sure he'll be in the comments at some point.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your consideration.
and enjoy your Football Manager. More than anything else, enjoy going out and playing Football Manager.
So next up is avoiding relegation. So he is a British bloke, currently living in Canada. So very active on Twitter, and he's active at weird times because he's over in Canada. So he's an Oldham fan, and he had a save with Oldham in FM19. I think he's only been going since FM19. But now he has moved into FM20. He did an Everton beta save, which is exactly what I did. That may or may not be going on to a season 2. It's very, very good. And he is also doing it's a journeyman with a difference. So he is doing a journeyman called Play for Set Pieces, where he is using the Play for Set Pieces button. So that has to be pressed for in every team he goes to, and that's what he has to set his whole team around. And he's got a whole set of blog posts which kind of describe how he sort of set these tactics up and how things progress. So it's a really sort of interesting way of doing things. So he is maybe more has a lot more thought about the tactics, and he's a really interesting style as well initially in game. So he plays it on full match initially in the game, sort of sees how the match is playing out, makes his tactical tinkers whilst that full match bit is going on, and then he goes on it sort of key highlights, which I think works really nicely, and I've enjoyed that aspect. I've not seen anyone else do that, and it makes for something a bit interesting. I do tend to learn a little bit from him, watching him. So I've been watching all of his pretty much everything he's done in FM20. And he's just started a new series with Swindon, so that will be on his channel as well, and that's just started. So if you're wanting to just see what he's like, then you can maybe start there. I think it's called Swindon Till I Die. I've watched episode 1 of that, and I will be watching episode 2 probably tonight. Next up is Watto FM. These guys are something a little bit different. You'll notice everyone from this have appeared on the Creator Showcase, because everyone I enjoy, I basically asked to come on the showcase, or I've discovered through doing the showcase. They are actually 2 people doing FM, which is an interesting way of doing it. So they've started out fairly recently. They kind of dipped their toes in the water in FM19, but they've come in FM20, and they have been doing an Arsenal beta save. To be absolutely fair, with for Watto FM, they've been having a lot of technical issues, which means that they haven't been able to upload quite as much as they've wanted to, which means they've been kind of struggling to attract viewers, but they're still well worth a watch, because I don't think anyone else does this, having 2 people, and it means they can kind of play off each other, they can have a laugh together, which you can't do. You sort of, when you're an FM creator, you're just kind of doing it on your own. So well worth a watch, and my understanding is, because they're having so many issues with the beta save, they're actually going to start their proper save imminently, so keep an eye out on their channel, give them a watch. So next up, someone I've started watching fairly recently is Dodgy Gamer. I've was wanting to watch his beta Boca save, which was his beta save with Boca Juniors. I still want to watch that, and I was hoping to do it over Christmas, but I haven't actually had time to do that. What I have watched, though, is all of the episodes of his Andorra save, where he is managing FC Andorra in the lower reaches of the Spanish league, and also the Andorran national side, and he's basically trying to improve the fortunes of one to improve the fortunes of the other, and basically trying to improve Andorra. So it's sort of building a nation type save, but actually doing it by managing the nation and the major club from within that nation, which I think is really interesting. It'd be interesting to do that with Liechtenstein. I don't know if Liechtenstein is manageable on the game, no idea, but that's well worth watching. He's also got some experiment videos lined up, so if you're interested in those sort of things, he will be your man. They're not your bog standard experiment videos. They are something a little bit different from what everyone else is doing, which is quite interesting. He's basically taking clubs from the major divisions in Europe. He's placing them in some time. I think it's in the Cayman Islands for this experiment. Placing them in the Cayman Islands, they still play in their same league systems, but they then start producing good quality Cayman Island players, and then looking how that affects the Cayman Island national team. He's done this previously. He's also got a bunch of other things planned. If you look on his channel, he has put up fairly recently sort of a channel a plan video. So go and watch that, and it will tell you everything that's going to be coming to his channel fairly soon. So well worth a watch. Next up is Aussie Villain. So he's someone who's been on the showcase. I've featured him on the Creator News before. Really fun YouTuber who mixes a load of skits, a load of comedy with a really good ability to play FM. It's a really nice mix, Aussie Villain is, and that really makes him well worth watching. So he knows his stuff, but that's all immersed within a really fun atmosphere that he sort of builds up around his saves, and he's sort of constant skits throughout, and often people that they sort of disappear as series get bigger and longer, but they seem to stick around with his, which is kind of nice. So he's doing a save with Leeds at the minute, and he's also doing a save with Barla Town. I'm watching the Barla Town one. I think I'm about 4 episodes behind, but well worth going and well worth checking out. Very good guy. A lot of fun to be had.
I'm here outside Barlowtown Football Club, where the Welsh Premier Division team has just announced that unknown Australian manager Aussie Villain is set to take over the club effective November 19th. Now, it is believed the manager thinks he can take the team all the way to Champions League glory, so this is expected to be a very, very, very long-term appointment. Now, there's further developments on this breaking story. I'm going to head up now to Hugh at Ellen Road in Leeds. Now, Hugh, do we have you? Yes, I'm here. Okay, Hugh, and what other developments do you have for us? Yes. So it would appear that the manager is going to be splitting his time between these two clubs, as Leeds United have also just announced Aussie Villain as manager effective November 19th. Now, it is believed the manager has also stated he will be looking to bring Champions League glory to Leeds United, so he is either very good or full of crap. Either way, be sure to join him for this journey and see if he can indeed win the Champions League with Leeds United and Barla Town.
And finally is Heed the Ball Gaming. Again, he's someone I've been aware about for a little bit after he came on the Creator Showcase. He's currently got something really cool lined up. There is only one episode of this, the sort of introductory episode that's been put out, and this is his Jersey Bulls save. I can't remember the exact title off the top of my head, but so Jersey Bulls are a football team down in Jersey, and what's so amazing, his introductory video, he's Scottish, as you might be able to tell from the name. He had took a plane all the way down to Jersey, well, presumably a plane. I mean, he might have walked, don't know, took a bike, rode a cactus, who knows. But he went to Jersey, went to the Jersey Bulls team. He did interviews with players, coach, the chairman, I think an ex manager as well, and showed some gameplay from an actual live Jersey Bulls game. And yeah, he's basically doing a sort of non-league to legend type save from sort of the lower reaches of the English league, but using Jersey Bulls. No idea quite how it's going to pan out and what the episodes are going to look like, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what that's like. So that's something I'm planning to watch once they drop. I think it's going to be fairly soon, so keep an eye out for that. So all of these guys you will see linked in the description below. I'm not telling any of these guys I'm going to be talking about them, but some of them undoubtedly will be in the comments, so say hello to them. Yeah, make sure you go along, check out the ones that you like the sound of. Each and every one of them I watch because they're all subtly different from each other, and I get a little bit of something different from each one of them, and I hope I managed to get that across to you guys. Okay, well, if you enjoyed that, please hit the like button, please subscribe if you want to see more of this sort of thing. Let me know other sort of things you would like to be featured on the FM Creator News. At some point I'll go back to actually talking about the things going on in FM, so who's putting out new saves and whatnot. I haven't done that for a month or so it probably needs to be done, but until then, I'll see you next time. Yeah, goodbye.